Yeah. Except I need to adjust it, but I can't remember. Oh.
Follow the hand sign. Stop. That meant bite instead of stop.
Oh, check out the police bike. Cool. Hey, there's Christian. Where's P and... All right, there's Paralysis. All right. Yeah, that's all right.
You're doing that special limits crash.
Okay.
You get $1 if you jump.
Take a lot more than that, huh?
Jump! I'll save you. I'm there to qualify.
Thanks, man. See, I'll give you $20 if you just grab the rabbit and just throw them in. You know, that'd be even funnier than watch somebody dive.
It's 1700. We don't have to be back at the bus for 1700. Then she said something about we're not leaving. Well, we don't have to be back at the meeting spot until 1700. We got the map, so everybody's covered.
1900. 1900.
1900. I said 17 then. 1900. I'm sorry. 1900. I really don't know. She didn't say. I know as soon as we get done, we're supposed to meet back someplace, and then we're supposed to leave from there and go someplace else.
Because it's about lunchtime.
Yeah, I know.
And I need breakfast. It's not good. Pringles. Picture.
I guess we're going in. This is Notre Dame.
Let me get pictures of it.
Oh, I want to get in front first, dear.
Yeah, you never heard that?
Oh, wow. 20 minutes. Come on, darling. Guys, come on. It's raining.
You're in the Army, right?
Step back. I couldn't get it.
Okay.
You want to take a picture? Yeah, she's saying something. There, she's saying something.
I know that one too. I know Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Si Do. I know that. Could I have one?
Just like the Germans don't touch.
One. Thank you.
It's right there, Nick. It's all the sticks right there.
What sticks?
You know those little sticks up there? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
Taking place is the most important part of this scene. Can you see what's going on? There's a nice angel on one side.
Yeah, I see it.
On the other, and in between the two,
I
they're holding
see it
the
all the
scale.
Flash's
weighing
not
something.
working on this.
And can you look inside the scale and you'll see
Not
there's
on
a little
mine.
soul. They usually show this necklace as a soul. Really
that
praying
it's
because this is the final
sun's
exam,
out.
folks. Are you going to flunk or are you going to pass? Can you tell which side the good guys are on, which side the bad?
I have a big shirt. Look! Look over there! A boat! Mom, let's go! Let's go, Mom.
Okay, wait, let me get this.
Hi.
I said don't walk off.
But back in those days, in order to have big windows, they put a hole in the wall, but the wall was
the way you like to pronounce that word. And do you know why you find people like that today? Well, if you looked at a map of Europe and you went as far west on that map as you could go, you would find Scotland and Ireland and Wales. The western part of France is called Brittany, and even the western part of Spain has a province called Galicia. Now, the ancient Romans called these kind of people Gauls. And even in these lands today, sometimes you can find the people speaking their old language. You know what they call that old language, the old Celtic one? They call it Gaelic, don't they? Gaelic, Gauls, and they were the people who lived here. And there was a tribe of that kind of people that lived on this island, and their name was the Parisi tribe, which is the most important city in France today. So you see lots of pretty sights from here. You see the town hall. Some of you can probably see, those of you particularly upstairs, I can't see it from where I am, but you see a weird, strange looking building with lots of colors on the right.
Yes.
A lot of tubes all around it. Can you see that?
Yes.
That's easy to walk to from here. It's a cultural center, actually, called the Centre Pompidou. Yeah? And you can take a moving staircase to go up to the top, and there's a very beautiful view over Paris if you go there. Near the building over on our left is a hospital. It's called the Hotel Dieu. So you won't be confused. The word hotel, I just said Hotel de Ville, that's the town hall. Here you see the name of it on the left, it says Hotel Dieu. That means street in Paris. I know it doesn't look very old. The street that we're on, it's called the Rue Saint-Jacques, means St. James's Street, because pilgrims during the Middle Ages used to get together for protection in bands, and they would set off down this street to eventually go to northern Spain, where they could look at the relics of St. James in a town called Santiago de Compostela. So that's why they call this St. James's Street. But it goes back beyond the Middle Ages. It goes back to when Paris really began, when they put a Roman colony here.
Bless you.
Now, when did the Romans come to power? Did they create civilization? No. They got it from the Greeks, right across the water from them, who were the first civilized Europeans. Because we're in Europe right now, and the people who live here brought us this culture are Europeans, huh? But they were not the people who thought up civilization. If you look at a great big map of Western Europe and the Mediterranean, which is the sea down below France, that means territories all around the Mediterranean, they took civilization with them. You might say the ancient Romans caught the ball and they ran with it. They brought it here. Now look here, in front of us it looks like a Roman building, doesn't it? It's copied after a Roman building. Oh, look at the marriage over here on the right. They're at the mayor's office, and a lot of people like to get married on Saturdays, huh? I think I see the bride. She's got a white dress with a striped top and a bouquet. She's going into the hall because when you get married in this country, it's the mayor's. You have to get married at the mayor's office. Whether you get married in church is up to you or not. The important thing is the civil ceremony that these people are taking part in here. That's the mayor's office of this district, which is the Latin Quarter. And in the middle you have the Pantheon, which looks Roman. It's copied after a Roman building called the Pantheon in Rome. But this building is only, shall we say, some 200 years old, a little bit older than that. And they were copying the Roman styles at that time. So what's that big building for? It's kind of a church, and it's kind of a place to honor famous Frenchmen. Now, the greatest honor you could... Now, look around, because a lot of you young people will want to come back here, particularly to go in the little streets that are paved with bricks that you see in front of us to the right and the left, where you see all of these fun little bitty restaurants. I'm sorry you're not going to be here at night, because a lot of these Greek restaurants at night, they have live music, very loud, I'll point, and they love to smash dishes on the floor. Wouldn't you just love to come here and smash a few dishes? We're going to go back over the island in the middle of the river, in the middle of the Seine River, which divides Paris into right bank and left bank. Now, do you know how they decide which one is right bank and which one is left bank? There's a system to it. It depends on which way the water is flowing. And here the water is flowing from the east to the west. And as it flows to its right, it's called the right bank, and then the other side is the left bank. Remember, I told you about that, how the Queen eventually was kept prisoner there. And now we're very briefly going to see a little part of the oldest part of the right bank here in the very center of the circle of Paris. Or else they noticed how fat and big the rats were getting in this neighborhood, huh? And they couldn't stand the traffic. It was too crowded, too unhealthy, you see. So they moved away the old food market called Les Halles. They moved it down towards the South Airport. And there was a great big part of the Louvre, which is the world's largest art museum. Whereas over here to the left, this very handsome building looks a little bit like St. Peter's in Rome. It's kind of copied after that one, but it's not a church. It is an institute of France, where the greatest honor you can have as a living Frenchman is to be named a member of the French Academy that meets there. They have 40 members.
Timmy, is that still the Louvre?
Yeah. Oh, that is. It is right down here. That's the same building.
That stick.
Wow.
And that. Where's the gargoyle? Got that one there. I want the gargoyle.
Yeah, so look into those antique shops. I bet some of you would
Just duck your head.
really jump if you saw the prices of some of those rare items that they display. It's interesting about Paris, they tend to group together the same types of shops in certain parts of town, and this is one of a couple of parts of town where all the antique dealers are. That is the backyard of the Louvre Palace Museum. And he used to sit in chairs watching them build this building here on our left. He admired it so much that he took the architectural plans back to the States. And you know that Thomas Jefferson was not only a founding father and American president, he was a man of many talents who lived in a very interesting house called Monticello in his native Virginia. Maybe some of you have been to that before. And he brought back from Paris many ideas. Red neon sign for Harry's Bar. Stay and see the Mona Lisa. Let me tell you something. If you're under 18, it's free to go into museums. So all of you that are under 18, free. If you go to the Louvre after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's cheaper price for those of you that are 18 and older. I think it's only €5, 50, something like that, instead of €7, 50. The Louvre also has a lovely underground shopping center. And you see, for some of you real young ones, there's a fun fair here in the Garden of the Tuileries. We now turn onto a street with lots of arcades. It's called the Rue de Rivoli, named after an Italian. Now, do you know I told you that during the French Revolution, which became so bloody, that they set up the guillotine here, and over 1,000 people lost their heads to the guillotine, including the King and Queen of France, Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette. I'm sure you've all heard of them. The King was guillotined near the statue on the right, on the left side, where we are right now. Later on, the Queen was guillotined over by the Tuileries Gardens, but further on the right. And you see they're getting ready for their big national holiday, the 14th of July, which commemorates when the citizens seized the Bastille prison. The building on the other side of the river that has columns in front of it is that you see this Champs-Élysées goes all the way up to the world's largest Arc de Triomphe, which is down at the end of the street. And you see all the places where the public will be able to sit and watch the big military parade, which is going to be on the 14th of July. Called the Alexander Bridge. Very, very fussy and fancy. Ladies, have you ever seen these light posts in the background of perfume advertisements? I bet you have. Very often you see high fashion models posing on this bridge. Now, I'm asking you a question. Which side of the river are we coming over to?
Left bank.
Right bank or left bank?
Left.
I can't get a good picture of it because of this
Don't hear any answers. But if you guessed left bank, you're
I'll try.
right.
I'll try that.
No, the windows all messed up.
Now we're going over to the western part of the town, which are the newer quarters, which is known as the pretty quarters, Beau Quartier.
Yes, I know, but I found it twice. Oh.
And this big green space in front is called the Esplanade of les Invalides. And They leave it open so we can admire this beautiful building, which has one of the widest facades in Paris. The century under Louis XIV, who built that building. So a ticket in there, you could see Napoleon's tomb, and you could also visit the Military History Museum.
Still got some. The last one I want to choose is the
Use the same architect who built Place de la Concorde. Huh? Sometimes you can see them riding horses through here
after it gets close.
when they practice there. Meantime, over on the left, you'll see a modern complex. Have you ever heard of it in England at the end of the 18th century and really left its stamp on the 19th century? Paris had just been redesigned during the Second Empire period when Napoleon's nephew ruled. That was about a 20-year period between 1850 and 1870. They redesigned Paris. They got rid of all the old dirty bits. Many historians are still crying about that.
Mom, go here.
You want to take a picture out the window? You can. And so when they planned this building, a lot of people said, no, 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 don't let them do it. We've just redesigned Paris, and now you want to build this thing that looks like an ugly factory chimney? Don't let them do it. And do you know that the American Army Corps of Engineers followed Eiffel's advice in building the Panama Canal? That's not bad, all three ideas from Mr. Eiffel. So I would say, due to their master engineer, Gustave Eiffel, the French won the space race of the 19th century. Huh? Now the Eiffel Tower is open every day until about midnight. You pay a different price depending on how high up you go. And there are elevators to take you up there. They have restaurants on there. On the first platform level, which is the cheapest one to go to, they have even a free exhibition that shows films of great moments in the life of the Eiffel Tower.
But I already have to.
Do you remember seeing what they did when the year 2000 came in? Everybody had their New Year's Eve parties. And boy, did they give a great one here at the Eiffel Tower. If you go up to the first platform level, you can watch that film. It's really something for the fireworks.
Got it.
So here it stands, the military school on one end, the military drill ground,
Maybe there should be a
and where they had World's Fairs later on. Now we're going to go over and go back to the left bank, the right bank, where we're going to be ending the tour eventually at the USO. Back to the Concord Square, you would continue going straight here, past the Eiffel Tower, to the next block where the road goes to the right. We're not going to do that, but that's where you would find bus number 42. And there's a bus stop that says Tour Eiffel Tower. Bus
Right
number
there at
42.
the elevators.
That's a close-up view of it, isn't
I
it?
don't see the elevators.
I'm looking at it.
Ooh, that's pretty high. I don't see no elevators.
People.
It's a lot of people.
Now we go over the Iena Bridge, over to the right bank, and the building you see in front of us is also a leftover from a World's Fair. That building has a different style. It's kind of the modern style that we had between the two world wars. And now we're going to go up this hill, which is called the Shiloh Hill, through some pretty neighborhoods. When he lived in a country house out in the country, and he would not recognize a thing about it today, Paris has just gotten bigger and bigger. But he used to live here, and he was a big favorite with the members of the court and with the people of Paris. He was Dr. Franklin, a man who could master electricity, a man of great wit, and one of America's founding fathers. Now, look rather quickly because they have some construction work up in front as we go by another classic view of the Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower where? Where?
Now, for some of you that are not looking on the right, you might look to the left and you will see a statue of the military commander of France and the Allies in World War I. His name was Foch.
I have one more left. Got it again. That's my last film. Oh, I have one more. One more film left. What? My last film. Last kind of.
Now we're going to go down the Avenue of Victor Hugo with all of its shops and flowers and clothing, and there's that magic word that says sold. Sales 40 to 50% off. That's not bad. That's pretty good. 50% off. Hey, I should, take a little further. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, are we gonna make it? There is a system to this. You're going to see they drive all which way.
Oh my God.
And our driver is very bravely trying to get us to the center. That's what we're doing. That's the system they have here. You get to the center to go around, and then at a certain point you swing off in which of the directions you want. See the people looking at the flowers laid underneath at the tomb of the unknown traffic victim. And you see the statues representing war and peace, and you see the writing on the inside that represent the soldiers that fought alongside with Napoleon who had this built. There are also the names of the great victories, the towns, and the sites of the battles he fought in. I'm telling you folks, if you ever want to read about an exciting, interesting, dramatic life, read a biography of Napoleon. Over here on the right, look out towards the new business district, the skyscrapers out there in an area called La Défense. Now see how safely so far we have gotten around this square. But of course it is comforting to know that we are bigger than they are.
The way I'm looking, it don't seem they care.
See that?
Did you see that?
Okay. You can also visit that monument, but if you decide to, please folks do not mosey across the street. You take the underground passage.
I've never seen busier streets than
Now, we're back on the Champs-Élysées, but look how different it looks. You have all these big businesses. Look how wide the sidewalks are. They've made it very friendly for pedestrians. This is also a place you can go to great big movie houses. The French love their movies. You can see movies from all over the world. And if they were made in England or in the States, you can actually hear them in English. You see the big office of tourism, airline offices. So in Paris is very well placed in a fancy neighborhood. So for those of you that want to go shopping at Louis Vuitton, it's just right over here and on the right. And for you guys that want to at least they don't have an afternoon show, I'm afraid.
Horse alone.
on this street as well.
Crazy horse alone.
And ladies, good news for you. You're going to be very close to what is known as the Golden Triangle of fashion. Look over here on the right, the fancy hotels, the Prince of Wales, the one called the Four Seasons. See the doorman on the outside, helping these rich people to go inside. And you see the American Cathedral rising above the trees here on the right.
You said you were going to spend the rest at the museum. Wait, is this the museum?
Sort of.
Okay, let's go.